All right, from the reshuffle to company results, the release of Shoprite results has, of course, been hotly anticipated. Shoprite is the largest retailer in South Africa and on the continent, with operations in 15 African countries. It's proved resilient in the past, despite cautious spending among consumers over the festive season. Shoprite's shares also hit a record high of 265 Rand earlier this month.
Now, other retailers have released mixed results in the last couple of months, but we know that Shoprite earlier said that it had had a turnover of about 6.3% in the last 6 months, which ended in December. Now, we sit down with the CEO of the Shoprite Group, Mr. Pieter Engelbrecht, to tell us more. Well, first of all, thank you so much for talking to us this morning. You've just given a presentation on the interim results for the Shoprite Group. Just how do you feel about the results?
I think it is one of the best set of results that the group has ever delivered. If one takes into consideration that we've gone into a deflation now from a 7.4% inflation of last year, if we had the same conditions in last year, the South African business would have been just unbelievable. It would have been insane, the numbers. So yes, I'm very happy.
Now, your performance as well, looking at South Africa compared to other non-RSA countries in which you trade in, how are things going there?
Yeah, the economies have been hit hard in the non-RSA with the oil price, commodity prices, but there is definitely a improvement, especially with copper prices, and we've seen the benefit of that now in Zambia. But Angola, as a proportion of our total non-RSA business, is very big, and that country has had a regime change. They're quite positive at the moment. So what I try to illustrate is to say that the business itself is still in very good condition, and if you just think that the non-RSA profit contribution for the 6 months has been 553 million. There are a lot of retailers that don't even make that in the entire business. So that's also our hedge, the two, that when one of the economies are struggling, then we can balance it with the other. So that came in very well for us this year.
Now, you always claim to absorb price increases to protect the customer. What are things looking like at the moment?
At the moment, we are in a deflation, so the fortunate thing for our consumers is there are prices now lower than 2 years ago. And I know a lot of consumers say prices never come down. I don't agree. At Shoprite, prices does come down, and they have. So I think the consumer is in a very good position at the moment. For us as a business, we're grateful that the government have approved a 7% increase in the grants that will benefit the Shoprite portion of the market quite considerably.
Now, you've also been making attempts to look into the top-end market, looking at stores such as Woolworths, convenience foods. How's that going?
Fortunately, we don't have to deal with perceptions. There are people, as many people, there are as many opinions. The facts are that in the last year, the Checkers brand have almost outgrown the market by double every single month. We gained market share every single month of last year. So I have to admit that the numbers support that our strategy is working.
So are you trying to, what's your strategy? Are you looking at the top-end market as well as the low-end market at the same time?
Remember last year, we deliberately separated the two brands in terms of operational management. We've got operational management in Shoprite and one in Checkers, completely separate, to give that absolute focus to the customer in two different worlds. So that is definitely coming into fruition, and that is helping us to deliver to the unique customer needs.
Now, Shoprite has also been sort of sheltered with regards to what is happening in Steinhoff, even though we know that Christo Wiese is a shareholder in both. Does this actually make you happy?
The chairman has always been very supportive in the group. He's only been assisting me up to now, he's not involved in the day-to-day running. So for us, it's business as usual. And the chairman has been great to me. So.
Now, there were reports that Christo Wiese wanted to consolidate his interests into Steinhoff, but was told or advised not to by people, including the former CEO of Shoprite, Whitey Basson. What's your view on this?
No, I'm not involved with the shareholder dealings or with the chairman's personal share allocation, so no.
So what are your plans for the year ahead?
Well, as we told you, they've got 6 drivers of growth. We're going to stick to those 6 drivers. I did explain to them earlier this morning, and we're going to stick to them. We don't change our strategy every 2 days or 2 months. We're still going to drive on those 6, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And most important, as always, make sure that we feed the nation at the lowest price with the Shoprite brand.
Now, you always talk about, although the customer is very important, you also put a lot of emphasis on the workers, the thousands and thousands of workers that all make it happen here at Shoprite. Just what's your word to them for the rest of the year?
Well, for me, it's firstly a great thank to 148,052 people that made this outstanding results possible. I love them all. They are the most amazing team. And I believe that Shoprite firstly has the best management team and then has the greatest staff that can, from all walks of life, deliver to our consumers what we think they expect from us.
Now, business would be affected by things that happen around the country. What are your views on President Cyril Ramaphosa's cabinet reshuffle?
I think it's great. It was great. The optimism, we call it a groundswell of optimism since we got a new president. And I cannot think otherwise than that it will give us growth, because when people are optimistic, they are creative, and that in itself will bring good and benefit. So I'm very optimistic myself that we will see great things in the next 2 years.
Once again, thank you very much for your time. Always good chatting to you there, Pieter Engelbrecht, telling us more about the interim results for the Shoprite Group, which he says he's very, very happy about. But that is back to you in the studio.